Hello, my name is Rachel Kidsman, and I am an intern here at Quest at the SAS Communications Office here, of course, at Singapore American School. So I am a graphic designer in the office because that is what I'm wanting to do in the future. I'm wanting to gain work experience as I'm here during my senior year in high school. Like, who gets the chance to do that? So I was placed in the SAS Communications Office because I'm there to really work with Hazik, one of the main graphic artists here at the marketing, for the marketing here for all of SAS. And so I'm really there just to be just as there are times in which I'm a student perspective, like in-house student, if they need someone that can, if they want to spitball an idea off of a student that actually goes here to SAS, they have me in office, as well as I get assigned specific articles for the Journey magazine that SAS puts out each season. So right now we are working on the spring season, Journeys, which I was assigned 2 different articles which I had to read and figure out a artistic interpretation, if that makes sense, of the article, which means in the magazine, when the article is placed, the artwork that surrounds the piece that makes it visually appealing that you want to read it is what I'm doing. I'm creating that artwork. And so that indeed is what I've been doing for the past week, actually a week to the day. And so during the process, I've really learned how to ask questions and to continually be curious. So in the office, Zeke probably doesn't like it how many times I go to him and I ask him questions of different things, because so in the beginning of the process, once I had the 2 articles, I started my ideation process, which I was just figuring out what type of art style I was going to do the piece and different things like that, and I had different drawn up designs. So then I went to Hazik, the graphic designer, and I asked him, what do you think about them? And he gave me some really good tips on, hey, this is how journeys have been done in the past. You could kind of morph your idea that you're doing and make it better. And so I've been going to him a lot, as well as asking him what is he working on as well, and why he does certain things a certain way. So to get into the nitty-gritty bolts of graphic design, we use Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, and InDesign. InDesign is a book processing program where the Journeys magazine is indeed completely laid out. And so when I go to him and when I ask him questions on why is the Journeys magazine written in design, why isn't Photoshop better, why isn't Illustrator better, I try and just continually be curious and ask follow-up questions when he explains something. Why did you decide to use that font? Do you even use your own fonts? Where do you get vector images? How do you cite things that aren't yours? I try and ask multiple questions and trying to get as much knowledge as I possibly can from someone that's working in the field and getting paid for what I'm wanting to do in the future. Like having someone that you can spitball ideas off of and is in the position and in the job that you're wanting is amazing. You can legitimately ask them, if you were in my shoes to get to where you are, what would you do? If you could do anything differently. Talking with a professional really helps you figure out what you want to do and what not to do, and get some really good real world advice. The hardest part of working down at the as an intern at the SAS Communications Office is trying to get to a groove to be productive, because when you are in a normal high school classroom and every hour and a half you switch classes, and the teacher then is always there telling you what to do to be on task, and they tell you, oh, next time we meet, this is due and this is due, and you have this deadline and this deadline. When you're in the real world force and when you're in workforce and when you're down at the SAS Communications Office, they don't give you, and in the real world, there's no one over you that is always tapping on your shoulder. You can get back to work, you need to get back to work. That has been rather difficult, to just continue to stay on task and to because if you don't turn in your things on time that you need to do, it's not like in school where, oh, if you don't turn in your homework, you might get a late or just get a 0 and then you get a grade. If you're out in the workforce, you could get fired potentially if it's worse enough and you keep turning in work late, because of course, as you know, in the workforce and out in the real world, time is money and time is of the essence when it comes to deadlines and things need to be turned in on time. So learning that responsibility through this internship I've really learned a lot and has been rather difficult. So thank you so much. Bye.